Whereas if you then use those conversations to talk about, okay, how are we going to fill the vacancy, but how are we going to fill it cost effectively, then automatically then you're getting them on side. I've met several people as well that say that their hiring managers want to use certain agencies or want to use certain job boards, whereas for them it'll probably be costing an absolute fortune. Whereas we do nothing like that. If they don't follow our process, then their vacancies don't get filled. So just getting everybody on side to do what you need them to do is the most important thing when it comes to cost saving. So we obviously have spoken a little bit how we cost save, but we've not really spoken about why it's so important. So I'm going to actually ask you guys in terms of why you've actually come here this afternoon and why you think it's important. No pressure. That's an open question to anyone who wants to answer. Why do you think cost saving is important?
Oh, forgive me.
It's something that's sort of come up in my new company that I've joined, but it's almost justifying your worth to the wider business, because recruitment in-house is not seen as a money-making team, so the cost saving and the value add has to come from that side, so that's why it's important.
Okay, yeah. Any other ideas? No? So, as we all know, in terms of the wider business, businesses are there to make money. If they're not making money, if they're not making profit, then they basically are not existing. For us as a department within that wider organisation, it's important to make sure that that business is continuing to make profit, to continuing to have that sort of surplus of money that they can then reinvest. And I think that's where the main thing is, in terms of being able to reinvest back into your team. So I'll give you an example. Like I said, the first objective that I was set when I first started the organisation was make sure that you reduce agency spend, which was fine, it was relatively easy. We then managed to save, I don't know the figure off the top of my head, but over the course of the year, at least about £15,000 that we've managed to save without having to spend additional money elsewhere in places that we didn't necessarily need to spend. As a result, so bear in mind the Avenues Group did not have an ATS provider in place whatsoever, probably the most difficult situations you could ever come across, especially with GDPR. But we needed, and we do need, an ATS provider in place urgently. Now, because I was able to make some cost savings within the recruitment team within my first 8 months of joining, I was then able to then go to senior leadership team and then say to them, well, hold on, I've made £15 worth of saving already within the last few months. Therefore, I want to spend that £15,000 on an ATS provider that we urgently need, that could therefore make more savings over the course of the next few years. So cost saving, it's not only important for the wider business, and that also when it comes to making sure that you're making a name for yourself and making your role a bit more purposeful, but also making sure that you've got money that you can then reinvest back into your team. One of the first things we spoke about was technology. There's so much more technology that's on the market these days, and it's probably going to only get any bigger. And I was at an event the other day where they said a lot of more professional candidates, they'll be applying for jobs in their cars, if they're not already. So that technology, it's something that we need access to if we're going to have direct access to those candidates, but we're not going to be able to sort of pay and purchase those technologies if we don't have the money there. So that's why cost saving is just as important, if you like, not only to be able to make a name for ourselves and help the wider business in terms of this overall vision, but to also make sure that you've got money then to reinvest back into your team and department. That was it, really. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, thank you. I'll come to you with a mic. That way you get recorded. Otherwise, you don't know what you said.
Thank you. How do you show the return on investment for your savings to the wider business rather than just sort of the internal recruitment team?
So So I started right at the beginning of our financial year. So as a recruitment team, we were given a certain amount of budget that, if you like, that we had to therefore use up within the course of a year. So right at the beginning, what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to spend X amount on my job boards, X amount on social media or other advertising methods, and X amount only on agency costs. So that's how I split up my budget. And automatically, with that budget in mind, I then went ahead and I purchased my job board credits, and we obviously then therefore made savings. So I was able to say to the business, okay, well, I had X amount of budget to put on job boards, I purchased this at this amount, therefore I've made already X amount of savings that we can then use elsewhere.
Did you find that you were starting to be asked to be compared similarly to, say, the commercial part of your business as being assessed on their spend and their ROI? Are you being given the same tools, or are you being asked the same questions?
Well, because we're a health and social care trust, so we're not seen as more of a commercial business. We get a lot of our funding through governments and commissioners. So it's a little bit difficult, if you like, to sort of make a comparison there. But I guess as part of our sort of overall objective in terms of cost saving, it's very important, therefore, to